Watching Geeks and Gamers talk Attack on Titan got me thinking about, is anime the last bastion of true nerd culture? I'll tell you why I'm talking about that on the other side. And welcome, everyone. Microphone Alchemist James Kincaid here with you on the Best Damn Nerd Show channel. Your nerdy Renaissance men back once again for another video. And John and I, we just got done watching Geeks and Gamers talk Attack on Titan. I was excited to see Jeremy diving into it. It's a very powerful video for me in a couple of different ways. Eerie parallels between, I feel like how I feel and how Jeremy feels, his whole experience, and also just talking about a great show in Attack on Titan that myself, I've only recently gotten into as well. So that's like the first parallel for me, is that I just got into it a couple months ago. I binge watched it. He didn't say if he's doing sub or dub, and I know that is a source of a lot of debate with people. And I feel like I'm going to get killed for my answer here because the anime fan base is very very passionate one, and in particular the ones that subscribe to subtitles only. I'm watching the dub of Attack on Titan. That's how I got into it.
You're a dub guy, huh?
I was for this one because I had it on while I would be working and stuff like that. So if I'm not able to give my full attention to the subtitled show, I'm going to get lost. And that was the thing. So it was sort of out of necessity for multitasking. But I will say the dubbed version, it's one of the best dubbed animes I have ever seen. The voice acting is top tier. So haters going to hate, but I think actually the dub is very good. In particular, my favorite character, Commander Erwin, is amazing. His voice actor absolutely crushed it, and I don't think there's a lot of argument online about that. But John, I know you're not a big anime guy.
Yeah.
But
what struck me about this video is, I mean, obviously he's kind of sharing his thoughts on Attack on Titan, but what struck me about it is like he kind of, I don't even know if he intended to go there, or if it was just kind of an unintentional, thing that he brought up near the end of the video. But he kind of mentions like this is the last place he can turn to for good content is anime. He hasn't been an anime fan in the past, but now this is like the last place that he can go that's like untouched, which is kind of interesting.
And that is sort of what struck me about it, is because I've talked to Imperial Commissar Jeff about this in the past, in terms of, sort of the old guard of nerd culture sort of falling back. And I've compared it to there's this book in the Horus Heresy library called Descent of Angels, and it takes place early in the Great Crusade, and there's this cabal of knights that sort of honor the old ways, and they're holed up in their last fortress. And that's sort of, and even though they're not doing great stuff, but that's not really the point. The point is that they had nowhere else to turn. It's just sort of the last stand. And you talk about sort of untouched, and again, like I said before, the last bastion of nerd culture, and really, for really good, unique, and new storytelling. Like Attack on Titan doesn't feel derivative of anything else. It's not like what you see a lot in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. It's not this paint by numbers MCU type thing. And there is a lot of great stuff in the MCU. I'm not just going to sit here and bash it, but there is sort of a diminishing returns aspect at times as well. It's not all perfect. There are a lot of like agendas. I mean, I was so happy to see this video just to sort of get a break from the Warner Media battle, which we're going to be talking about more, because there's still more crazy stuff going on with that. But I needed a break, and it was a nice change of pace, and it was a nice sort of like break from this dysfunction and everything that. And
what it is? It's unencumbered. Show. It's unencumbered. Yes. It's unencumbered both by like the drama surrounding the actual process of creating the content and all the bullshit that you need to go through to even get what you want. But also it's unencumbered by like what we all bring to the table too, right? Like, you have tons and tons of years and memories relating to big IPs in nerd culture. And I think being able to like step away from that even and experience something new and get that thrill of like that new feeling, you know. I definitely, for me, it's like video games. Like that's still my place to do that. And honestly, like it's hard for me to get that hit anymore. Like I'm chasing that dragon to an extent, and oftentimes it's me playing like a new genre of game that like creates that feeling. So I can relate to it in the sense that like you're trying to get away from all the craziness, and it's both like your expectations of the content and like
yes,
all the memories and things that you bring with it that you don't want to be ruined and corrupted, but also all the I mean for like let's just
all the
call
extra stuff that comes with it,
the politics, the cultural
yes.
stuff, like everything that's going on around all this content now that is encumbering it. Like it's just it takes some of the fun out sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it does. Not always,
Yeah.
but sometimes it does, and it is kind of exhausting. And it is, that's why I say, you know, for a bitter old nerd like me, that you know, during the pandemic and everything, I have leaned harder into anime, rewatching some anime, checking out some new ones, like a new to me at least, like Attack on Titan. It's exciting for me. It is sort of like you talk about chasing the dragon. It is simulating that fix of what it was like when all this stuff was brand new and getting to know it. And there is no pressure of expectation. It's just real and just straight up really good storytelling. Jeremy in the Geeks and Gamers video talks about that. It's like, this is where you can go if you just want good stories. And that is definitely something I've thought about. And again, joking offline that, you know, all we're going to be left with pretty soon is, you know, high fantasy like Lord of the Rings. And even that, you know, the idea is, you know, the reason why I call it Last Bastion is because we're still under siege. Like it's coming. Hollywood is coming.
Hollywood is coming.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's going to come.
Anime is not safe.
Not at all. Hollywood's like Galactus, and it's going to swallow it all up. And I feel like the anime community though is much more sort of unified in a certain sense because what makes anime, I mean, it is the style of animation and all this stuff. So I don't really need live action adaptations for anime. And that's, you know, certain people might feel some type of way about that, but
I agree with that. I mean, I think that it can be done well, but it's going to be so different than the original material. And just like because I think the anime aesthetic is a huge part of how the stories are told. Like I think I feel like it's almost harder to adapt anime than like most other forms of content and entertainment to live action. Harder even than video games, I think, because it's so there's so much like left to your imagination with anime that when you like spell it out for people, it kind of takes some of the fun out of it.
Well, I think that there's a buy-in factor there with anime and sort of a barrier to clear. It's a lot of them are acquired tastes that you have to sort of
very much
like
so.
Even Attack on Titan, you know, going back to what they were talking about in the video, the first episode does get you, but it's weird. Like to break it down a little bit for you, John, because I know you haven't watched it. In the early going, essentially what the Titans are, they're these giant, naked, human-looking cannibals. And it's very bizarre. It's very weird. But in the first episode, spoiler, sorry, the main character, his mom gets straight up eaten by one of them. And I mean, you see it. It's brutal. It's heartbreaking. Christ. And yeah, exactly. And I remember I was texting my friend Crystal because she's the one that sort of like convinced me to watch it. And I was like, holy, what the hell is going on in this show? And she's like, I know. And you're just getting started. And it's just no character is safe. It's drawn comparisons to like early Game of Thrones with that there's no such thing as plot armor and that any character can die at any time. And you certainly see a lot of that in Attack on Titan. So I can't recommend it enough. It's in its fourth season and final season. And so they're also going to be taking a break to complete the fourth season. So you have time to binge and catch up. I literally binged it in about a week and caught up to where the dub is, the subtitles ahead. So
I love this idea though, that like in the midst of the pandemic, you're like you're only soulless. You're like huddled around this fire with a bunch of other wanderers, and that fire is anime. It's our anime channel on Discord. You guys are all gathered around, like trying to find any source of heat and warmth that you can while the wolves are howling outside. The Hollywood wolves are coming, and ultimately you're all going to be eaten. Like anime is, yes, it's the last bastion. Like it's the last part
we'll
of the
die
fortress.
on our feet though.
It's like it's like the you know what it is? It's the dark, grimy dungeon underneath the castle that everyone's hiding out in with like the last final barricade. There's people. Hollywood is pounding on the door, and you guys are like, let us just get a couple more episodes, please.
It's Helm's Deep, bro.
Totally.
We're hoping that I don't know if Zack Snyder's Gandalf or not, but we're hoping somebody will save us.
I do.
But you mentioned the Discord though.
I know. As tempted as I am.
He was talking about the forums. Their anime forum is the most lively and most like busy and popular, just like the anime in our Discord. By the way, bestdamnnerdshow.com/Discord if you want to join in on the conversation.
I'm so tempted to just delete the channel out of spite because I don't enjoy anime, and I don't like that other people are having fun without me. But I do. Honestly, the anime channel, like you said, it's the liveliest channel on our Discord by far, aside from maybe the meme channel, and then the episode discussion with people telling me I'm wrong about everything. But turns out they're wrong for telling me I'm wrong. I mean, I can't say that I find that comfort in anime, but I appreciate. You might,
though. I don't think you tried.
I haven't given it a fair shake, but I still think that there's a couple little hidey holes in sci-fi that are still left. There's a couple. I've mentioned my go-to several times. Altered Carbon, yeah.
I need to get in on that.
I
will watch Altered Carbon if you check out Attack on Titan, or Cowboy Bebop.
That being said, Altered Carbon is a TV show, right? So it is Hollywood, but it's not encumbered, as we say, with some of the other not to be named projects that are in the news right now.
Yeah, you talked about earlier, just like the pressure of expectations and all this nostalgia that we've built up over the years, and just the painful wound that is Disney Star Wars and its abject failure and betrayal of the fan base that it is. So it's nice to check out these things, but like we talked about a few minutes ago, Hollywood is Galactus. There will be no stone left unturned. But I did think it was very interesting. Just sort of the parallels that Geeks and Gamers were talking about in terms of when you just want to break from all the extra stuff and just how he sort of started getting into anime and Attack on Titan and where that leads us bitter old nerds to go. But
that's why I just retire to my chamber and chop wood in Valheim for 2 hours every night. Cause I'm like, it just get me away from all this shit, please. It's
nice to just turn it off, and I enjoy you talk about that too. It's like there's something just uniquely soothing about Valheim, even though you're fighting monsters if you so choose and everything like that. But I'm sure we'll pick up the anime discussion. I want to get some others on here to maybe recommend where our friends at Geeks and Gamers could go for some more anime, for Jeremy what to get into. I know Jeff would have some thoughts and some others as well, but that's going to do it for this video. Take care, everyone. Remember, if you're a nerd, always say it loud and say it proud. Hey, thanks so much for watching Nerdosphere. If you want to like and subscribe, we certainly would appreciate it. If you want to get in on the discussion, bestdamnnerdshow.com/Discord. And finally, if you got a little extra jingle jangle in your pocket, bestdamnnerdshow.com/Patreon. We appreciate all the support as always.